Why hello boys and girls. It looks like we're going to have another vlog with the Will. Now last week I went to Kamehacon over at Texas and had a great time. There were a few hiccups here and there that could potentially ruin my trip, but I had to overcome those obstacles to make this trip amazing. Now it all started out with planning. Now I was looking at plane tickets and hotels and I was trying to price them out. I'm trying to make this as cheap as possible. And I saw one that's like a connected flight, and I'd never been to a connected flight before. So I decided to use the connected flight. And let me tell you, I definitely regret it because it took me from West Palm Beach to New Jersey, and New Jersey to Texas. You know, it makes sense to go from West Palm Beach to Texas, but that's not the case. I mean, the ticket was cheap, but I would rather take it nonstop this time. So yeah, definitely I regret it because that total plane ride was 6 hours. By the time I got to Texas, I didn't enjoy the scenery. I just passed out in my hotel room. Now, since this is a weekend trip, all I'm bringing is my carry-on luggage and my duffel bag. The only big thing that I have with my Trunks cosplay is my sword, which you can see here. It's pretty long. I cannot put this on my carry-on luggage, or I can't put it in my duffel bag. So I had to pay 50 bucks to bring this to Texas and $50 to bring it back to Palm Beach. You can actually ship this to someone you can trust over at Texas, or you can do something different. So I decided to make a new sword for this trip. And this sword could fit in my small duffel bag. Now I made this out of hard paper and PVC. I wanted to use foam, but I didn't know how TSA is going to handle it. I don't know if they see the sword and they're going to like take it away from me. So I decided to make it out of paper just to play it safe. And it still looks pretty decent. There's a lot of modifications I should do, but this is my first time making this sword. Now the question is, how do I fit this in my small duffel bag? So if you can see this crease here. It's actually breakable, and I could able to fit this in my small duffel bag. I made a new sheath for the sword, which is bendable, so I could able to fit this in my small duffel bag. The sword is still in my possession, which means that TSA didn't take it away from me. In fact, they didn't really pay attention to the sword. I'm pretty sure they saw it through the x-ray, but they didn't even touch it. So I guess that's a good thing. Next time I'm going to make the sword with foam, and I'm going to actually make it really legit and nice. And I'm going to definitely make it that same style of breakable. So Saturday morning, I got ready, took an Uber to the convention center. There was a huge line. And I thought the huge line is for picking up or purchasing badges, but it's actually just to get in, which doesn't make any sense. So if you already purchased your badge, you already have it, why not just walk in? So it was just really weird how they had it. So it's like a huge line, and it took me maybe about 20 minutes to finally get in. And once I got in, I purchased my badge, but it wasn't really a badge. It was actually a colored wristband, which I thought was really unusual. And that wristband is supposed to represent the weekend. So I had to reuse it. It's like a typical cheap paper wristband that you can get like in any office supply store. Now I'm a bit concerned because anyone can get green colored paper and make a wristband out of it and come in. And that's free 70 bucks right there. Now I first came in, and first thing I noticed, like my eye was getting a little weird. I'm like, huh, you know, I had the light blue contacts, and so I went in the bathroom and I noticed in my right eye, the contact was splitting. I never had that happen to me before, and I'm like, wow, really, it's splitting? And sure enough, I can't wear it again because it's not stable. So I had to take it off, and I have to take off the other one because it's kind of weird to have this one blue contact. So already my costume is falling apart, and I'm kind of freaking out. And also, like with my sword, since this was a prototype sword, one of the balls fell off, and the this top part here is getting loose. And I'm just like, you know, oh man, it's like I never had this happen before. I've cosplayed so many times and I never had any malfunctions, and you know, with the whole contact splitting and my swords messing up, and on top of that too, I made the buckle and the buckle fell off. Again, never happened to me before. And already this is all happening at once, and I'm already feeling miserable. And I felt that, man, this trip is a bust already. That's what I said in my head. and I felt miserable, and I was walking at first, and I'm just like, so I went straight to the game room just to check it out. Hopefully it'll cheer me up. I'm a competitive gamer since 2000, so I walk up, and there's a guy that came up to me, and I really felt bad because I wasn't in the mood to talk. And this guy was like, he's like, "Hey, Trunks," and he was asking me a few questions. And since I already felt miserable because things are falling apart on my costume, I just like stared at him. And he was asking a question. I just looked at him. I just didn't feel like talking at that moment. And he was just like, he kept asking the question, like, I actually didn't know what the question was because I tuned him out. I just stared at him, and I think I stared at him for like 20 seconds. And then he just walked away, and then I walked away. And I admit, like, I felt bad. And to that particular person, I do apologize. I didn't mean to look at you like you're an idiot. You just happened to caught me in a bad time. So I'm in the game room. I was bitter, and I intentionally didn't bring my stick with me because I didn't want to play. I had some words with the guys running the game room before the tournament. I asked them like some basic tournament questions, and they didn't really give me a direct answer. They just basically said, "We'll see what happens of the day." And I didn't like that answer because I need as much information as I can so I could be prepared for this tournament. And since they didn't give me enough information, I decided not to join. I didn't bring my stick just to make sure I do not compete. So I walk in, I look, and the setup's pretty nice. They have plenty of setups. They had a little stream. They were doing the brackets online, but the thing is, it was very disorganized, and that triggered me a bit. And since I've been part of the FGC for 10 plus years, running tournaments and everything, and I just want to say something, but I'm just like, you know what, this is not my event. I already talked to these guys before the event happened, so I had to walk away and sit down. And I'm thinking to myself, why are you here? There's a reason why I'm here at Kamehacon. And if you watch my last vlog, you know what the reason was. And that's trying to be out of my comfort zone. I'm away from Florida. I don't know anyone. I had none of my close friends here, none of my family here. I'm by myself. I'm here to better myself. So there's issues that I already had with this event. Am I going to cry about it? Am I going to lose out $600 and just sit there all day and do nothing? Or I'm going to do something about it. So I had to think about the law of attraction. You know what the law of attraction is. Positive thoughts produce positive results. Negative thoughts produce negative results. So even though my costume's falling apart, and even though I had an awkward moment with that guy, and I had a terrible plane ride, and everything else in between, I had to stay positive. And I just had to put a smile on my face and said, you know what? You're going to enjoy this trip no matter what. You're by yourself. Make it work. So I decided to get up, walk around, and socialize. And a lot of people I talk to, they're really nice, and you guys really make this trip really cool for me. And I really do appreciate the people that I've talked to. And I'm starting to have a great time to the point where I completely forgot about my whole costume malfunctioning and the awkward moment I had with that guy. I completely forgot all about that. I was just having a great time. And after the convention, I was hanging out with people at the after party, as well as other events in other people's hotels. Sunday was a bit of a dead day, and usually that's really typical at anime conventions. I consider Kamehacon really big for its first event. I didn't know there's other festivities going on Sunday, but around Sunday afternoon, a lot of people left. And I had this trip planned out that I leave Monday afternoon. But next time, if I could do a weekend trip, I'm probably going to leave Sunday afternoon just like everybody else, and then come back home on Sunday evening. And I could go back to work on Monday, and I don't have to take a day off or anything like that the next day. So overall, despite the hiccups, this trip was amazing. I'm definitely going to come back again next year. So next event I'm going is Kamehacon, which is the last weekend of May. I'm going to drive up there from West Palm Beach. So that's going to be a 10-hour drive. I'm going to be there for all 4 days. In fact, I'm taking my week vacation of work there. And afterwards, when I come back, I'm gonna be closing on my new house. I'm gonna be living in my new house by myself in June. I cannot wait. You know, it's like it's a long time coming. This means a lot to me because, you know, I hit rock bottom in 2014. I was going nowhere in life and I had to change my life around, and next thing you know, I'm buying my own house by myself. So I'm just really grateful and blessed, you know, to make it this far. And it doesn't stop from here. It's going to keep on going. So, you know, the sky's the limit for me. So that's it with my vlog. If you guys enjoy my video, go ahead and like this video, hook a brother up, and subscribe to my channel. Share this video, all that good stuff. Until next time, peace.